If you're watching this, then something unexpected has happened. Maybe I'm gone. Maybe I'm just much older now. Maybe 20 years have passed. Maybe 30. Maybe you found this recording while cleaning out old boxes. Maybe you weren't even looking for me. But if you're hearing my voice right now, there's something I need to tell you. Something I've carried in my heart for a very long time. I'm not afraid you'll forget the good memories. I'm afraid you'll remember the bad ones. The days I yelled. The days I lost my patience. The days I looked tired, stressed, or angry. The days I wasn't the father I wanted to be. And before you remember any of those moments, I need you to hear this. None of it was ever your fault. None of it. You were children. You were supposed to make mistakes. You were supposed to be loud. You were supposed to leave messes everywhere. You were supposed to need me. That was your job. I was the adult. And sometimes I didn't handle that responsibility as well as I should have. Today I yelled at you over something small. Honestly, I don't even remember what it was. But I remember your face. I remember the tears in your eyes. I remember the look you gave me. And a few hours later, you had already moved on. You were laughing again, playing again, climbing into my lap like nothing had happened. Children forgive so easily. Fathers don't. You forgot. I didn't. I kept wondering, will this be one of the memories that stays with you forever? When you remember your childhood, what will you remember most? My love or my mistakes? Because here's the truth. I was scared all the time. More scared than you ever knew. I was afraid something would happen to you. Afraid I wouldn't have enough money. Afraid I wasn't doing enough. Afraid I wasn't teaching you enough. Afraid I would somehow fail at the most important job of my life. Being your father. When your little adults seem like they know exactly what they're doing. You think they have all the answers. You think they're strong all the time. But the truth is, most days I was figuring it out as I went. I made decisions and hoped they were the right ones. I worried constantly. I second-guessed myself more times than you could imagine. Some nights, after you fell asleep, I would sit alone in the dark. The house would finally be quiet. No cartoons, no laughter, no doors opening and closing. No voices calling my name every 5 minutes. Just silence. And that's when the fear would arrive. I would think about your future. I would think about all the things I couldn't protect you from. Heartbreak, disappointment, failure, loss, the unfairness of life, the people who might hurt you, the mistakes I knew you would eventually have to make on your own. Sometimes I would sit there and wonder if I was doing enough, if I was teaching you enough, if I was giving you the kind of childhood you deserved. And sometimes I cried, not because of you, never because of you, because I loved you so much that the responsibility felt overwhelming. Because loving someone this deeply is one of the most beautiful things in the world, and one of the most terrifying. I wanted to protect you from every painful thing life could ever bring, every disappointment, every betrayal, every sleepless night, every moment of self-doubt. But I couldn't. No parent can. And accepting that reality broke my heart over and over again. Sometimes that fear came out the wrong way. Sometimes it sounded like anger. Sometimes it sounded like criticism. Sometimes it sounded like frustration. But underneath all of it, it was love. Messy love. Imperfect love. Human love. And I'm sorry for every time it didn't look like love. Please remember this. You were never a burden. Not once. Not for a single second. I know there are parents who say things they don't mean when they're exhausted. Parents who complain, parents who lose patience. But I need you to know the truth. You never ruined my life. You never stopped me from becoming who I wanted to be. You never made my life worse. You made it meaningful. You were the reason I got out of bed when I had no energy left. The reason I kept going when I wanted to quit. The reason I worked harder than I thought I could. You gave purpose to ordinary days. I still remember the sound of your footsteps running through the house. The way you'd call my name from another room. The way you'd tell me the same story 3 times because you were excited and couldn't help yourself. I remember your laugh. I remember your questions. I remember your little voice. At the time, I sometimes said I was tired. Sometimes I asked for quiet. Sometimes I wished for just a few minutes alone. But if I'm being honest, those sounds became the soundtrack of my life. And one day the house became quiet, too quiet. The toys disappeared, the noise disappeared, the little footsteps disappeared, and suddenly I realized I would give anything to hear them again. Anything. To answer one more question, to read one more bedtime story, to hear one more silly joke, to step on one more toy left in the hallway, because the things that exhausted me were also the things I loved most. You were never the problem, you were the gift. The greatest gift I ever received, and if I didn't tell you that enough when you were little, let me tell you now. You were the best part of my life. I hope you're happy now. I really do. I hope life has been kind to you. I hope you found people who love you. People who make you feel safe. People who remind you that you matter. I hope you've kept some of the magic you had when you were young. The magic that could turn couch cushions into castles. The magic that made a blanket and a flashlight feel like an adventure. The magic that made ordinary afternoons feel endless. And if you have children of your own now, I hope you'll remember something. One day you'll lose your patience. One day you'll make a mistake. One day you'll say something you wish you could take back. And when that happens, I hope you'll show yourself the same grace I'm asking from you today. Because perfect parents don't exist. Only loving ones. Only people trying their best. Only people learning as they go. Your father wasn't perfect. He made mistakes. He got things wrong. He carried fears he didn't know how to explain. He worried more than he should have. He loved more than words could ever describe. But nobody on this earth loved you more than he did. Nobody. So be gentle with yourself. Forgive yourself often. Love loudly. Laugh often. Call the people you love. Take the trip. Eat the dessert. Stay up too late sometimes. Leave the dishes until morning every now and then. Live, really live. And when you think of me, I hope you remember only one thing. My love for you never had an ending. Not on my best days. Not on my worst days. Not ever. I love you. I always will. Forever. Love, Dad.